Oh, that might have been it.
Oh, perfect. Oh,
Hey, gang, this is Andy over at the Facebook Live TV show. Almost forgot the name of my own show. And we're going to be talking about a few things today. And number one, we're going to be talking to a very special guest. Her name is Molly, and I'll tell you a little bit more about her in a second. But let me just tell you what to expect on these live shows here on Facebook. And the Facebook Live TV show really is going to present other people that are using Facebook Live to create their own television show. So we're going to interview people, find out what people are doing, see how it is affecting their business, and see if there's even things that they have questions for me, or maybe some of the other experts that we're going to be bringing to you live on the Facebook Live TV show. We're going to be talking to you about equipment. We'll be talking about certain types of platforms. One of the things I'm using right now to broadcast to you right now is called Blue Jeans. It's not even available to you guys yet. Somehow I schmoozed my way into the launch and was able to get a free trial, and I'm trying it out right now. And so I love it so far. It has been fantastic. As a matter of fact, I'm broadcasting through Mimo Live, which is another bit of software that allows me to broadcast and use lower third. So if I want to pop up a lower third like this one, introducing myself as Andy Falco Jimenez here at Facebook Live TV show, it will do that. And you see this little thing over here. This is a picture-in-picture. You see my hand going behind it? That's actually being broadcast through Mimo Live. And so what I'm going to be doing, this may not make any sense to any of you right now, or it makes sense to just some of you, but this is what this show is going to be all about. It's going to be presenting people that are using Facebook Live to create their own TV show, and we're going to bring you the tech and the equipment and the do's and don'ts, and we'll probably have Molly on quite a bit. And so I know her time is limited, so I'm going to go straight to my little bit of an introduction to her, and her credentials may be a little too long for me to go into them, so I'm going to let her do most of that. Molly Mahoney is she's helping others to unlock their awesome, their inner awesome, and elevate it and share it with the world. And that is fantastic. That's what I'm telling people to do with Facebook Live TV show. She's the founder and president of Molly Mahoney, the Prepared Performer. She's with Elite Orange Status Presenter at Unique Corporate. And she'll explain all that is. I obviously butchered whatever that was. And she's worked at a number of musical theaters and dance instructor, choreographer, and she is the perfect person for what I want to be presenting. And we, like I said, we may have to come to her a little bit more often. Let me go ahead and get to my app over here so I can bring her on, because that actually, you know what, let me show you something that she did today. That was my plan, and I just remembered what I was going to do. Hold on, my mouse has decided that it does not want to scroll up. So I'm going to share with you a little bit of Molly here. Hope she doesn't mind. Well, she shouldn't mind because it was a show that she did earlier. And where is it? It is right here. There's her lovely picture with an arrow on it. Here's a little bit of Molly this morning.
Good morning. We're having a little chill dance party. It's Molly. Hi. Today I'm going to share with you guys three ways to boost your confidence today. I am super sunburned and I'm trying out some new stuff where I used to do all my videos. We got this little square going on here. Woo! This is actually...
All right, that's good enough. we want to bring on the real Molly here. So let me actually bring my screen over. I'm learning this brand new app. I'm hoping that what's going to bring us here side by side. I'm not sure. Do you see this side by side there, Molly? I'm not sure.
No, I still see my Facebook page.
Oh, well, let's see if I can fix that right now. Well, you know why? Because I didn't click that. There we go. We're supposed to be side by side here. Well, I see you underneath. Maybe once you start talking. And so again, I'm learning this brand new platform called Blue Jeans. And so please be patient with me, everybody. That's why this is what I would call, since it's football season, I'm going to use a football reference. And we're in preseason for my television show. We're going to be getting all these bugs out. We're going to bring Molly back so she can be part of the big game, maybe even the Super Bowl. And so, Molly, go ahead and let's see if you pop up and become the presenter here when you start talking. But tell me and the audience a little bit more about who you are and what it is that you're doing.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. I don't know. Does it say that I'm a presenter? It says I'm a participant.
Yes.
I'm looking at the little things. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I was going to try and jump over to your Facebook page and see if I could find it, but I don't know if I can find it.
Yeah, I see. You are now.
Okay. Can you see me?
Screen.
Okay, perfect. Hooray! Yep. Hi, I'm Molly. I am a performance coach. I work with both musical theater performers and also business owners to help them to unlock their inner awesome and share it with the world. So my whole goal in life is really to help you to figure out what it is that brings you joy and allow you to spread it. So I'm spreading joy. It's super fun. Facebook Live is my favorite. Facebook Live is my favorite
awesome.
Tool at the moment, and I love to help others to be able to do it too. And Andy is amazing. I'm so grateful for the things that I've learned from you, Andy.
Oh, wow. I did not know. So you must be, are you a student in the Facebook Live training course?
Yeah, I am in. Sue actually told me about it, and I just recently went through the Elite program and did my first broadcast using OBS, which I had never done before, and it was really fun. So I've been doing Facebook Live as soon as I could, and I do it all the time. I have several broadcasts that I do, but you've kind of helped me to up-level it a bit, so thanks.
Oh, cool. Well, pretty soon I'll be putting in some training for this Blue Jeans, but since it's not available, I'm going to wait just a little bit. So I think you're going to find it very useful, and it allows us to do this. I'm interviewing you. This is my very first interview using this new tool. I've been waiting for the opportunity to be able to interview somebody like you so that I can, I can't carry the show all on my shoulders. I'm going to need help from experts. So how do you bring out the awesome in people? How do you teach them to be awesome?
The number one secret that I have, which I'll share with you right now, is to take everything that you do in your business and forget it. Drop it all first and focus on you as a human being, right? So forget about Facebook Live, forget about all of that, and start to identify the things that make you uniquely awesome. So things that fill your chest with bubbles, give you that and sometimes people are like, oh, I don't know what makes me awesome. And I always say that everyone has something that makes them uniquely awesome, even if it's just that they make an amazing quesadilla. So you have to find your quesadilla of awesome. And that's what the very basic, I mean, I have loads of tips, but that's the basic, is that connecting with that thing that fills you with joy.
Well, mine's guacamole awesome.
Oh, so yeah, we talked about this morning. I forgot. You did. So all the different nuances of your guacamole. If you met somebody else who also put ranch in their guacamole, you'd be like, no way, me too. I put ranch in my guacamole, right?
Right. You know what I love? I'm going to talk a little bit about just some things that are unrelated to what we just talked about, but I love your background. How did you decide to have that kind of background? Because I know some people struggle with that very much. They either put a big window behind them that has all the light shining in, or they're in their bedroom with the bed not made, or they're a number of things. So How did you decide on your background?
So this is actually something that I was using a lot when I was doing before Facebook Live, when I would do pre-recorded lessons. So I would do different tips for performers or for business owners. And sparkling is something that's important to me. So I ended up slowly adding these signs. It's in my studio. I teach in a really small space. I do voice lessons and do performance coaching for business owners inside a really small room. And I was like, how can I get away without cleaning my desk every time that I do this? So it's above my desk. And I put my computer on a music stand, so it's lifted. It's a hardcore music stand. Sometimes though, I use one of those pop-up backdrops, the black or green screen or whatever pop-up backdrop. But recently I was like, I want to get my personality into it. It's something that I'm kind of still playing with and working on. But they're just signs that represent my brand. I always say it's really important to have your branding come through in your background and what you're wearing as well. So just elevating my brand, celebrating the things that I love and I love to share with my clients.
Right. Awesome. It looks great. I love it. I love the way that it looks.
The doing it up higher above the desk is really helpful because a lot of people think they don't have space, but they do. You just have to maybe lift your camera up.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine who we met. We didn't meet at this last event. We've known each other for a while, but we were at Ed Rush out in San Diego. He's a consultant, and I met her at this event, and that's one of the things she wants me to come to her home and figure out where to place the camera, what kind of background she should have, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some perfect hints. If I can't figure it out, I'll have her hire you to do that.
The biggest thing is like just play and test it, right? Try different things out.
Right.
Don't be afraid to play.
One thing I want to know, and I think can help people the most on this, and we're going to talk about an event I just invited you to speak at. But one of the most common things that I hear people struggle with is the fear of getting on camera, the fear of putting themselves out. And is there any tools or tricks that you have for somebody that's just so afraid of getting on camera that it's holding them back from being successful?
Yes. So the number one thing, like I said, is finding your own quesadilla of awesome, right? And really connecting with that. But also recognize the fact that if you haven't prepared, if you haven't ever done a vocal warm-up, I love that you spoke about that a little bit in your course. Like for me, I've been working as a performer since I was a little kid. So but I still do a vocal warm-up every day. And so connecting to your breath and getting a really great low breath. I have this thing I call the B-Fab warm-up, which is your breath, your face. We're using our face on camera. I overuse mine sometimes, but stretching your face, stretching your face so that you're in a place where you're able to use those colors as a tactic when you're communicating. Stretching your tongue, so putting your tongue into your cheek like this before you go live, yeah, and saying some tongue twisters. And then really I have a little vocal warm up for your body and your voice. Like but sirens like woo and connecting with different parts of your voice. And it also helps to relax you a little bit. So knowing that you're prepared. And I think this is actually a compliment for you too, Andy. One of my favorite things about taking your course is that you messed up a few times. And you said that every time you messed up a little bit, it made me love you even more. So recognizing that when things go wrong, because on Facebook Live, they will, you can't go back and edit things will happen, but trusting in the fact that actually makes you more accessible to your audience, and the way that you handle those mistakes really actually elevates your brand. And being thankful for those mistakes.
Yeah, that's fantastic, because I'm so happy that you said that, because I sometimes wonder, I get on live a lot now. I'm like obnoxiously live on either the Mastermind Retreat, which is a group it's a private group and an open group. And then we have You Everywhere Now, which is another group that I'm involved in. And I think I'm starting to get obnoxiously live, but I don't know now any other way to do it, because it really, some things pop in my mind and I want to talk about them or share, or there's a tool, and that issue of having a hiccup or saying something and then going, oh no, that's not what I meant, or whatever the case is. That makes me feel a lot better. So I'm glad from a pro like you that that actually is not a bad thing.
No, it's an awesome thing. It's an awesome thing.
And then when you got into this, I'm not sure if you had tech background before, but was there any fear that had to do with the connection of either the internet connection or the tech you were using, the cameras, the computer? Did you have any hiccups in regard to that, or are you just way ahead of the game?
Yeah, no, I think actually the fact that most people are just doing it from their phone, not everyone is as high tech as you are and as I'm going to soon be, but the fact that anyone can do it from their phone releases so much pressure, because I had bought a DSLR camera and I was like trying to do these fancy videos, and now it doesn't matter, which is amazing. It mattered. The fact that you did the picture on there, I totally thought your TV had that on it. So that's amazing. I think there's really cool things we can do with tech to make it even cooler. But just knowing that if you figure out some lighting, you figure out a background that works for you and your brand, you can do it from anywhere as long as you're connected to the Wi-Fi. And, then there's things that you can adjust.
Yep, and lighting is an issue. I realized when I was looking at the other screen here that my lighting was really hot a minute ago, so I had to run over there and turn it down because my face was I was going to be sunburnt like you are.
Oh my gosh, you guys! I did all these lives on the beach yesterday, and I was so happy about it. I went live in 2 groups and on my regular, Facebook profile, and I had no clue this is what was happening to me. I have my necklace.
Oh, I just saw that.
I changed clothes from this morning for that specific reason, because you could see it so much in my other dress.
Well, one more thing, if you don't mind, I don't know how quickly you can go over the three things you talked about earlier today. You don't have to go into great detail, but can you talk about those three things you talked about in your show earlier today? Because that's one of the things that caused me. I was driving from the gym, watching your live feed, and like I know I shouldn't be doing this, but only at red lights I was texting you, but it caught my attention. What you were talking about was fantastic. So we'll just send them to your Facebook page, but give us those three things that you listed today.
Yeah. So the number one thing, these are 5. I have a thing for 5 ways to boost your confidence today, because I know that the fear of going live is the thing that stops a lot of people, and it makes me sad that they're not sharing all that they could be because they're afraid. So the first thing is that to really recognize the things that make you awesome as a human being. And I didn't say this morning because I talk about it a lot with my audience, but I'll tell you that I have a little acronym to help you to figure that out if you're stuck. I always have everyone write down 20 things that make them awesome, and they fall into these categories. It's SAVE with 2 A's, so SAVE to help me remember, but it's your skill set. So if that's like you're great at spreadsheets, or you're a tap dancer, or whatever, I don't know, your skill set. Your appearance. Recognize things about your appearance that you love, because you're going to have your appearance is going to be shared with the world. And if we're just beating ourselves up, that's no good. So recognize the things about your appearance that you love, activities that you love, because then you can take people hiking, you can take them dancing, you can do whatever. So recognizing the activities that you love, it's an awesome way to get more content as well, to recognize these things. Your values are something that really help you to boost your confidence to connect with others. And then also things that you like to eat. So we can talk about food forever, right? So recognizing those things that you really love to eat is a good way to be like, oh yeah, I make some mean Brussels sprouts or whatever. So that's the first tip. The second one is to recognize, after you have really like connected with your bubbly feeling, recognize that everyone else in this world, no matter where they are, who they are, has something that makes them awesome also. So when I go into an event, and you can put this into practice anywhere, it's a little more difficult when you're just looking at a little camera, right? But when you see those comments coming through, pulling those people out and celebrating their awesome. So when I go into like a networking event, sometimes that can be really overwhelming, but I make it my goal. I connect with my quesadilla first, and then I make it my goal to search out the awesome in everyone that I meet. So learn about their business, but really figure out what are those little things that fill them with bubbles. Yeah, so that's the second tip. And recognize that no matter what level they're at, they're nervous too. The first time that I went live with this kind of stuff, I was like, this isn't going to be a disaster. But recognize that everyone has a little bit of that fear in them, and do your best to bring their bubbles out. And then the third tip that I had today was, which was the one that I shared? I had it all printed out and I gave it to one of my clients as she was leaving. I was like, take this, be confident. So the third one, was be prepared. If you don't know if you're not when I go to do these videos, I usually suggest that I have to my students to have a Post-it note with like 3 things that you're going to be covering. And the more that you are prepared, you've done a little bit of a warm up, you've practiced this maybe in a private group, you've watched some of Andy's videos, and you've learned the best way for you to be able to be prepared as much as you can, and know about your business, like know what problems you're solving. Don't just come on and be like, I'm going to do nothing. Like have some sort of objective in mind. And
right.
Be prepared. So get prepared.
Right. Yeah. Have the show flow. The show flow is so important. And the show flow can be on a Post-it, and that's the one thing. It doesn't have to be this long script. It just has to be the key points you want to make sure and cover, and don't forget them. And so that's fantastic. All 3 of those are fantastic. And so that brings me to the thing that I was talking about earlier. I met in my Pilates class, strangely enough, a young lady who owns a video studio with green screen and props, and they actually film their own TV show in Anaheim. We have become friends, and what we're going to do is put together a social media video training course. It's going to be a 2-day course. We'll invite people down, and we're going to show them and have them feel and touch and see the tech. We're going to get them involved in a bunch of classes. One of them is going to be you, whether you like it or not. And so we're going to talk about, I'll give you some of the topics. It's why video is critical, what social sites are necessary for success from video, what equipment is necessary, sound is more important than video, and how to achieve great sound, tricks and tips about great lighting, the keys to a selling background, what we just talked about with you, the do's and don'ts of the video broadcast, tips of choosing live or recorded, the preparation, what you just talked about, lights, action, camera, and we're going to actually take people through some video and critique them and basically put them on a hot seat. And then we're going to talk about makeup, possible makeup issues that I need makeup on my forehead a lot.
Okay, wait, Andy, I have to interrupt for a second. So yeah. I know you just said this because you saw it on there, but Unique is a whole makeup line that I represent also. So that's like, oh, really? Yeah.
Well, there you go. I saw your video, but I didn't even think about it. And then we're going to do some speaking exercises, the ones that you talked about, how to get your voice ready. That's one thing, even though I taught it in my course, I am horrible still to this day at doing that kind of stuff. But that's just some of the things we're going to be talking about. It's going to be a 2-day event. We're going to have all these classes. We're going to have you and maybe some other special guests there. Awesome. And this is going to be awesome. It'll be in Anaheim. I know you're in Orange, and so it's close, and it's going to be tons of fun. It's going to be around the end of October, beginning of November. That's the dates that we're looking for. So I'll make sure and let you know when that is and work around your schedule the best that I can. So I'm glad that you agreed to be a part of that program.
Yeah, I love it. That sounds so amazing. Because I think a lot of times one of the other things that people are afraid of is that they watch these tutorials online, but they don't actually have someone next to them saying, click this button here. Here's what's going to happen. So once they've done it once, then there's this freedom,
Yep. And that's me. That's me. I actually have to have somebody. Can you just take my hand and put it on the mouse and show me where to click sometimes? I have to have either a video to watch, reading it. I got that thing going on. I can't take the print to hands. I need to fill it. I need somebody to show me and then put me in front of the camera and then tell me where it is that I can improve. The ums and the clicks I used to make with my mouth have gotten less, but that's only because I got tired of seeing me doing it on video and just doing it. But I had a lot of those things that are better. I'm not fantastic at it, but I'm better at it. What was that idea thing that you did?
Yeah, 2 things. One is that you mentioned that click. I literally just watched like so much of your course in one day last Sunday, and I bought it a long time ago, but I just finally dove in, and that clicking thing, I heard so many people doing it this weekend. Like, I'm so mad at you because now it's everywhere, but you're right. It's like, Andy.
It's this weird smack and I was doing it and I was going, God, why do I do that? I couldn't even figure it out.
But you would not. I love that you said that, because the other thing is getting out there and doing it and being okay with being a little sloppy at first. That is really the only way you're actually going to get better at it. And I thought of a quote that I'd love to share with you, which at Kung Fu Panda 3, have you seen it?
No.
Okay, I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, but at the very end, Po is like trying to teach the other pandas to be warriors and all this, and he has this moment, and I know it's a cartoon, but the camera like zooms in on his face, and he's like, I don't need to teach you to be a better you. Oh, wait. Oh, I just ruined it. He says, I don't need to teach you to be more like me. I need to teach you to be more like you.
Wow, that's awesome.
Spoiled the punchline. But that's really
I can't edit it. Right. And I should see that because I have a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old. I don't know if you know that. I know I look like. Awesome. We have way more in common than we knew. It turns out, those of you that are watching, in which we have quite a few people watching, is that we know similar people, and we've like at the White House restaurant, El Silvano, and other people. It was so funny. I'm so happy that we connected.
It's awesome, and that speaks loads to the power of live video, because if we weren't doing these live videos, we would never have found each other. So it's awesome.
Awesome. I know you have to go here in like 3 minutes. Is there something you would like to say or share with the audience before you take off about what it is, how they can get a hold of you, how you can help them? Is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, totally. So my website is The Prepared Performer. You can find me pretty much anywhere with The Prepared Performer. And if you head over to my personal Facebook page today, I think I already shared it on my business page as well, but you can download my 5 tips to get more confidence, to boost your confidence today. So there's 2 extra tips that I didn't share with you today. And that would be thepreparedperformer.com/confidence today would be the place to go to download that little checklist, or you can find the video on my business, on my business page or my personal page, whatever. I'll share the link below.
That little shoulder thing you just did.
Yeah, awesome.
maybe I shouldn't do that.
What? I don't know. Yeah, and really, I would love to empower you guys to really just know that this is such a powerful tool for you to connect with the people who are ideal for you. I'm a little crazy, and I've had people honestly say some things that are like, what are you doing? You talk like a weirdo. And I use those things to just know that those aren't my people. I've had people say they put a book over my videos so they don't have to watch the funny faces I make. And I'm like, awesome. That means you're not one of my people. So I really just, but I have so many more people who are like, I love your goofiness. So whatever your energy is, that is what you need to be bringing to the world, because there are other people who are begging for it.
That's a great tip. I mean, you're full of great tips. Maybe you should just do this show.
I can't, because I have to go teach a voice lesson. I can hear her outside.
Oh, darn. Well, go teach a voice lesson. You're going to have to teach me a little bit about my voice, because I often speak to a point, lose my voice. I do that constantly. So I know I need a speech coach to help me with my voice. And that would help a great deal, I am sure. But I want to let you know that there's a recording that's being made. Blue Jean just automatically makes a recording. I'll send you the link so you could use it if you want to.
Yes.
And I'm so happy to have you as my very first guest on my very first show of the Facebook Live TV show. I'm not sure how long Facebook's going to allow me to use that name. I'm just going to keep using it until they tell me not to. I own the URL too. This is FacebookLiveTVShow.com. So
I know. Awesome.
Yeah,
Congrats. You're doing
some point,
such amazing
I'm sure I'm
work.
Oh, thank you so much. It was so great to have you. I'm going to go ahead and sign off the show. And just again, thank you so much. Thank you for all that joined. I saw that we had quite a few people on there. So just so thankful for you guys following me and what I'm doing. Just go to FacebookLiveTVShow.com to get into the training course. And I will see you at the next one. Thank you. Bye. Go get to your voice lesson.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Are you still there, Andy? I don't know if you are. I ran out. Hold on, let me just tell him. Come in.
Okay.
I know your mom had asked if she could come early, and like, I'm recording this video during the school break. Hold on one second. Facebook Live TV show. I don't know where. Sorry. I just want to make sure that I know what's happening here.
I accidentally brought my school binder instead